Welcome to In the Know 360, show hosted by me, Annette, the warm-hearted warrior diva. This show gives you insights on the journeys of high-achieving business owners and music artists who share with our audience the importance of building a strong community of like-minded individuals on the road to greater success. This evening show is a collaboration between NNO 360 and Mr. Ladaro Pennix II, also known as MONSTA Yo. MONSTA Yo is a hip hop artist. He is a CEO, director, actor, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, influencer, humanitarian. The list goes on, people. Okay. MONSTA Yo is also known as a multifaceted artist for his collaborations with Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, and Xzibit. Beyond his music career, he is a published author of multiple books, and we'll get into that later on in the show. He founded the suicide prevention hotline to support those in crisis as well, and recently featured in the Skrilla Guerrillas Magazine. I'm so excited to have you on, MONSTA Yo. Welcome, MONSTA Yo. Let's give a round of applause.
Man, thank you very much. That was a beautiful introduction. Very amazing. Man, you know how to treat a brother. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for being on my show this evening. I have several questions, and I won't belabor this, but we're going to start with the first one.
Okay.
Who is MONSTA Yo besides the great person that I've already explained or spoke about?
Monster Yo is a giver. He's an individual for the people. You know, he's been shaped and molded by the challenges of life. And where some have folded under pressure, where some have become scornful, Monster Yo has become an individual who has dedicated his life to acts of service. You know, he's for the people, he's for change, he's for upliftment, you know, he's for building knowledge of self, you know, because he knows how powerful you can be when you develop that knowledge of self. Monster Yo, of course, is compassionate. Monster Yo is a fighter. Monster Yo is a warrior. Monster Yo is a leader. Monster Yo is all those positive qualities and attributes that you can associate with a person. You know, he's the real thing. He's the real McCoy. He shows up and he shows you what he's about through his actions. Monster Yo is very consistent. That's who Monster Yo is.
I love it. And yes, you are consistent, King. Thank you
Thank you.
for that, and also for helping support everybody. Um,
Absolutely.
what are some of the biggest challenges that you face balancing multiple projects? You know, how do you stay organized?
Well, I'm the type of individual that I function well under organized chaos. So I have to have a lot of things going on at once. And it's like for some reason where it's confusing to most, when I have a lot of projects going on at once, it makes sense to me. It's like a puzzle or it's like breaking down a radio and then piecing it back together again, right? I'm good at that. But some of the challenges that I face, is mostly people who I'm dealing with in business. People are
Hmm.
not consistent. They're not people of their word. They pull out at the last minute, and you already have these big, major plans, extravagant plans prepared for them. And people are emotional and choosy, and even though you're giving them quality work for sometimes the most bare minimum, they still feel entitled. So you have to accommodate that, and you have to remain professional at all times. And so for me, that's some of the most challenging, just dealing with people who um, um, feel entitled sometimes a little bit more than they should, and just the inconsistency of people, especially when it comes to business dealings.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It definitely can be frustrating at times, I'm sure.
Mhm.
I know I would be frustrated. Whew.
Right.
So, who are some of your biggest influences when it comes to being a CEO or a humanitarian? And how have they shaped your work?
Well, some of my biggest influences, it's crazy. There's a few that are younger than me, but there's others that are older than me. My business partner, Lord Days. He's a true entrepreneur through and through. And his work ethic, his mind, the way he operates, he's like the information highway in his head. Then all he does is click on one thought and he just manifests everything in the art and skill of business, understanding the strategy of business and everything else. So I'm very influenced by my business partner, Lord Days, and I'm very humbled by him. Also, Cocaine, who I also did a song with. Um, his business practice is like out of this world. He has a level of commitment in business. He protects his empire and he shows you if you're close to him, he'll teach you how to protect your empire, protect your interests. But more than that, he tells you to protect your own peace of mind. Because if you protect your own peace of mind, you can lead accordingly in the business itself. And I love that. So those are just a couple of my influences as of today. Beyond that, who it's not really there's not many people that I can pinpoint at this moment, but those are the two main ones that I always fall back in my mind and ask myself, how can I do better in approaching this situation, that situation? How can I build up this empire? And I lean on those individuals who have set a great example, Lord Days and Cocaine.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, they are phenomenal CEOs as well. Um, Shout out to both of them. And how do you see yourself evolving as a CEO of many hats? I mean, the list goes on, people. Seriously. It's just like on and on.
Well, the way that I see myself evolving is just through the networks that I have, the connections that I have. When you merge with individuals, you grow. I go out and I seek out new talent, whether it's talent in music, whether it's talent in business, art, videography, whatever. I learn from them. I become their student, and so that's how I grow. And by merging with them, I I become my own conglomerate, if you will, right? A franchise, if you will, and I've built from there. And so that's how I see myself growing, continuing to connect the dots in the network itself, building those bonds, building those relationships, making sure I secure the trust because I'm a strong believer in leading with trust. You know what I'm saying? I lead with trust. I make sure that I'm trustworthy so that when we are doing business, they know that I'm trustworthy so I can receive their trust in return. I lead with an ethic, a code of ethic, you know what I'm saying, so that I never betray the bonds that I create with these individuals. So that's what I'm on when it comes to networking and building with these individuals. And by doing that, I feel that I grow with them. And the sky is the limit, man. The sky is
Yeah.
the limit. What I can do, there's no stopping me. That's what I
Mm,
believe.
mm. Wow. Well said, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, could you tell us about the new venture you have with Lord Days Gorillas Magazine and how folks can also tap in to maybe get a magazine feature or cover?
Absolutely. So right now we're going to be releasing our latest issue on the 14th of December, and it's a great Christmas gift as well. And of course, who's going to be on the cover? Moi,
Exactly.
myself. And we are a top tier magazine company, Skrilla Guerrilla Magazine, that has exceeded so many levels of expectation. We continue to be notarized in so many different fields of just accomplishments. But more than that, our magazine helps artists and business alike get the attention that they need. It gets them out there beyond where they normally would be able to reach. And because our magazine is not just nationwide, it's worldwide, um, people are able to get a connection just by reading through the pages, who these people are. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. It's the experience. Skrilla Gorilla Magazine is a real experience. One thing about our magazine company is this, is that we are not just a digital company. We're also a company that sells physical copies. So everyone can actually buy the magazine, have it in their hands, showing it off, and letting people see this is the real McCoy. We're top tier, so we deal with nothing but quality. And we make sure that everyone that's inside those pages are quality. And they are quality. That's why they're in our pages. Um, how you can get inside our magazine. Of course, we have a submission link that you can submit your article, I mean, your request to be in the magazine. We just had a brilliant holiday special, which we usually don't do, where we allowed people to order a page for 150, and if they wanted to be on the cover and be featured, we charged them 350 to be highlighted. If they wanted to actually be on the cover, it's always much more, way more. But we wanted to give that, we wanted to just give out, for this holiday season. But the normal prices to get in our pages is $500 a page. As I said, we are definitely a top tier magazine. And so we make sure that um, it's work when you get into our pages, you're getting into something that's quality. And so that's what it is. That's how you're able to get into our magazine. We have a submission link. People will be able to order the magazine after, on the day of the 14th of December. The link is in our bios, and we'll just be sharing it with everyone. And so, yeah, that's how you'll be able to retrieve the magazine whenever you're ready.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, shout out to you. I saw the, I saw your post. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I'm so excited for you. You're well deserved, King. Seriously. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the folks that are in this issue's magazine?
Oh, absolutely. First, you Miss Miss in the know 360 is in the pages representing and keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Letting the world know that you're more than just, a pretty face. You're a boss, and respect to you, Queen. You know, we also have the king himself, Papa Loke, president of Death Row. He's also the chief security of Snoop Dogg, an extraordinary OG from Long Beach. We have Cocaine, the legendary Cocaine. I had to make sure he was up in there. He's the OG of OGs. Over 1 million followers, a real
Wow.
reputable, a
Yeah.
leader of leaders. You know what I'm saying? And so salute to Cocaine. You know, we have my sis Kitty, Kitty Bratz, and she's in there representing. We have D3 the rock star, one of the coldest lyricists on the West Coast. My goodness, the list goes on and on. We have Cedric Carter
Wow.
1700, Lady Too Much, and
Mm.
one of my friends and business partners, um, uh, LA Bandit, who's another
Oh.
cold lyricist on the West Coast taking over. There's so many
Mhm.
extraordinary people in there right now, and they're taking over, and they're making sure that they speak volumes in everything that they do. Each
Mhm.
person in those pages has a unique story, but
Mhm.
beyond that, they have a uniqueness that shows the reason why they're so extraordinary. These phenomenal individuals you have to salute, because once you read the pages, you're going to be like, oh, I understand why they're here, because they are
Mm.
the best of the best.
Wow. Wow. Yes, I'm thank you, King. I'm very excited to be in the magazine as well. This is my third year, a little bit over 3 years doing this, so I'm greatly appreciative of this and helping our music artists and other entrepreneurs showcase show them into the light and the audience and help them to achieve what they want to do in life. And you know, life is too short. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, you're also opening a new dojo. Can you
Yes.
tell us about it?
Absolutely. So myself and LA Bandit, we're opening up a dojo together. Um, we both studied under similar disciplines. Our senseis actually used to train with each other.
Oh
And
wow.
so, what better thing than to build something from the foundation in which we were brought up under. And so we're building a dojo called Core of Discipline, Harvey and Pennix. In LA Bandit's last name is Harvey, my last name is Pennix. And so we wanted to create this dojo, not just to train people and teach them discipline. What we wanted to do was restore the family dynamic, the family structure, the family home.
Mm.
You've got to realize that there's so much lack of respect. There's so much lack of unity within the family home. So
Mhm.
we asked ourselves, how can we create something that could help rebuild,
Mhm.
just the nucleus of respect in the household? So
Yeah.
we came up with this idea. All kids get in for free
Oh
when it comes to
wow.
our dojo, but there's a catch. They have to enroll with the guardian or a parent, and the parent must pay, and the parent must learn the discipline with the child. And
Mm.
this way, there's a mutual understanding and respect for the art, for the discipline itself.
Right.
This allows them to be familiar with the discipline while at the same
Mhm.
time creating a familiarity with the child, and the parent creating a familiarity with the adult, to the point to where it's like, we know this together, we've learned this together, we understand this. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring this into fruition. We wanted to bring this into fruition so that we just begin to build the homes amongst the dojo. We're going to have um, stations where there's um, tutoring,
Mm.
groups on self help, groups on
Okay.
parenting, groups on
Mhm.
targeting emotional intelligence, and so much more. We wanted to
Nice.
make sure that we hit every aspect of development. So when they're home sitting at that table, there is no lack of respect.
Mhm.
It's only mutual understanding and courtesy and love. And that's what we're trying to build in the family home.
Mm. I love that concept. Most definitely, it's unfortunate that a lot of kids grow up having to, gain this independence by themselves. And this helps the camaraderie within the household, I believe, is necessary. And also, it could be fun at the same time, right? So the parent is actually learning, they're both feeding off each other, and it's a bond that starts, like you said.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
that's what's missing in a lot of communities for sure.
Right.
Um, it's funny that you mentioned that because I have to volunteer 10 hours per year in my child's school.
Mm.
So every year it's like I have two kids, well, three kids, but the oldest one's graduated already. So 20 hours a year.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I usually it's cafeteria.
Mm.
You know how that goes. Oh my
Oh yeah.
gosh, it's a riot. I mean in a good way, but yeah, that's hard work.
Mm.
Going cleaning the tables after the kids eat, then
Mhm.
throwing all kinds of food and trash on the
I feel
table.
bad for you. I feel bad for you.
And I'm like, wife, and that is the most taxing job. I salute my mom because she was a cafeteria lady back in
Right.
the day, and I used to help her, not in the cafeteria, but cleaning the school ground
Okay.
too. So she used to clean, and that's a lot of work.
Mm. I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
and it does help you to, I believe. I was like, well, we have to volunteer, but it forces the parent to actually um, form bonds, form relationship with the teachers, with the
Mhm.
staff, and they can keep an eye on your kids. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's you get like a extra layer of benefit when
Mhm.
you actually volunteer and help, see what your child is doing. So
Absolutely.
I love it. Everybody knows. It's so funny. They know the kids, and I'm like, oh hey, oh yeah, how's Nigel? How's Cam?
I
So,
like that. I like that. I like that.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's great. That's great. So, I also noticed that you're into the travel business. Can,
Yes,
can you
yes,
enlighten us on this? Because I'm like, oh wow, okay, he does travel too. Hmm.
absolutely. So myself and our business partner, Lord Days and our business partner is Lionheart. And Lionheart has his business called Tropic Travelers, in which
Mhm,
he's included us in. And through Tropic Travelers, we're
mhm,
able to um, create a real experience for
mhm,
those who are looking to travel anywhere. Whether you want to be on a jet, whether you want to be on a yacht, whether you want to be in a penthouse, whether you want to be anywhere in the world, we can create a real life experience where you don't have to
mm.
create your own itinerary. We
Oh
create
wow.
something that is so amazing that all of a sudden you just feel like you just swept away into some fantasy island. And so
Wow.
through Tropic Travelers, we give you an amazing experience of travel,
Mhm, mhm.
and some people, they go out into another country and they don't know what to do. They just know that they're in this area. They get some type of map and they hope to hit the sites and don't really get into the meat and potatoes of that country.
That's
you
what
know hmm but with us, we show you, we
you,
take you there, we prepare you, and not only that, we give you that experience, the luxury
mm.
experience. And
Oh
so
wow.
through Tropic Travelers, you will
Okay.
love what we do. And so I would
Mm.
advise you, contact Lionheart
Okay.
on Instagram, and he will instruct you on everything you need to know about the travel, about what we do, and how we do it, and get you on your way, man. Because people need vacations.
Oh,
We all
amen.
need vacations.
Amen. When's my next one? I'm trying to figure that out. So is it lion heart? Is it just one word? And
Yeah,
then
just Lionheart.
okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, cool. I have to look him up.
Or you can look up Tropic Travelers.
Tropic
But
Travelers.
yes.
Okay.
hmm
Thank you. So, do you think work carries an underlying message? Your work carries an underlying message or philosophy, and that ties to everything you do?
Absolutely. Work hard and you will be successful.
Okay.
It's just that simple. Work hard and you will be successful. There is no excuses. If you believe in yourself and you apply yourself, there's nothing you cannot do. And so for me, my work ethic, it's leading by example. It's
Mm,
showing you that through hard work, there is positive results. You may not always get what you want, but you'll start seeing it slowly but surely. And that's what it's all about. You want it to manifest. You want it to build up. You want it to gain its traction so that the momentum can start going, and all of a sudden it just becomes effortlessly, it becomes easy, and all of a sudden you're just where you need to be in life.
mm. Yes, I totally agree with that. Faith without works is dead, right? That's what the Bible
Amen.
says.
Hello. Amen.
um, so what's been most rewarding part of your creative journey so far?
The most rewarding of my creative journey, you know there's so many rewarding parts in that, right? um One of the most rewarding is one of the books that I wrote, um, based on autism.
Mm,
To know myself and a family member, Renee Pennix Alexander, who is the founder of Leo Lion Club Foundation, we came together and we wrote the book.
mm,
And we wanted to just give those who suffer from autism
mhm,
a chance to relate,
mhm.
something to be able to not just read, but relate to and be happy about. So we
Yeah.
tell various stories, all fiction, of different animals who had autism that that probably was ostracized by their pack, but in the end they become the hero, or a princess who had autism, or a young lad who had autism, and in the end every one of them triumphed.
Mhm,
And so just to know that we were able to put this together and really help change lives, I think
mhm,
that was one of the most rewarding, other than my suicide prevention hotline.
mm.
Um, Like my suicide prevention hotline is Yana.
Mhm,
Which means it's an acronym for "You Are Not Alone."
mhm,
And I had a brother that passed away. He committed suicide,
mhm,
and when he committed suicide, um, it's like you always feel like you never did enough.
mhm,
You always wonder, what did you do, or what didn't you do to help
mhm,
change his circumstance? And from this day forward, what are you going to do to help
mhm,
change other people's circumstances?
mhm,
And the idea of Yana popped up.
mhm,
You are not alone. And just to be there with people, be there for them, so
mhm,
that they don't result to this deep depression and find themselves in a state of mind to where they believe they have to do the unmentionable.
mhm,
Just to know that they have someone they can talk to. And then in the reward in the end is
mhm,
them telling you, you know what, I'm going to sleep this off. Or you know what, I'm not going to do it tonight. Just that
mhm.
reward in itself is a blessing to me,
Wow.
because I know that I prevented them in
Mhm,
that moment from realizing that, you know, the end was the only outcome. And I
mhm.
love that. That is the most rewarding.
Yeah. Wow. That's my condolences to your friend, to your
Thank you.
brother, and
Thank you.
definitely, I wouldn't say personally relate, but I did come across an incident like in like right in front of my eyes. So one day I was actually jogging. My son Matt was 2, I believe. So I was pushing him in a jogging stroller, and I saw this guy. He was sitting on a ledge. I was crossing the bridge on the on the path, and the guy was like literally sitting there on the ledge, getting ready to jump off. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have my baby, but I have to help him out. So um, I was like, hey, I came up and I approached him and I said, hey, just started talking. What's your name? How are you? Like, um, my name is Annette, et cetera, et cetera. Try to continue the conversation, right? Then there was another guy that approached. I think he was doing a jog too. So both of us teamed up and we were talking to the gentleman that was sitting on the ledge ready to jump off. And then he was venting to us. He said that, that his partner, they had broken up, and he was just like so distraught and just very sad about it, you know. So we just kept talking, things are gonna be okay. Come on, come, just come on over here. Let's go get coffee. Let's talk it out. Let's. So I think I don't know how long it was, maybe about an hour, maybe that we were able to talk him to come, over, like come towards us. And so he got off the ledge and walked towards us, and we were just, we just kept talking and talking. And then he got his thoughts together, and I guess went home. And I said, we gave him our number just in case. But what do you do when you find yourself, obviously this was random. I was jogging, right, pushing the stroller, just doing my jog, and there's a guy sitting there ready about to jump off the ledge. So what have you experienced anything of that sort, like someone that's about to take their life and you had to talk them out of that in the physical?
Well, not face to
Or
face. Everything's always been over the phone, and
okay.
so I've never had that face to face situation to where I had to talk somebody off the ledge, and I'm glad I didn't. You know, um, that can be an emotional situation, and to be honest with you, I feel like your situation was much harder based on the fact that it was right there in your face. So congratulations to you and that fella, because you guys did a great job of preventing him from doing the unmentionable. And so I only hope that I have the same um, patience and peace of mind, um, and just focus to be able to just, or words to just, make sure that I prevent that individual if I'm ever up in that type of situation. But most of my stuff has just been on over the phone.
Talk about doing a feature, a song with cocaine, right? So I listened to your new song. It's
Hmm.
entitled "Never Live a Lie."
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I listened to it today.
thank you.
What's the meaning behind the song?
Well, the meaning behind the song is the story of my life. It's the
Mm,
story of my upbringing. It's the
yeah.
story of a young kid who made poor decisions, who didn't have any hope.
Hmm.
And one day he found his truth, he found his voice, and he
Hmm.
began to shine accordingly. You know, we think that we control the plan for our lives, the narrative of our lives. The reality is that there's a higher power that controls that narrative. And
Hmm.
all you have to do is tap into that spirituality and understand that you were destined for greatness and you start moving accordingly. You'll start walking that narrative in the right, you'll start walking
Hmm.
accordingly to that narrative, and what's to come of that is an extraordinary story.
Mm,
And so for me, it went from tragic to triumph,
mm,
and now here it is. You have someone like me featured in the source,
mm,
featured in
mhm.
Billboard magazine, featured in Millennium, featured in Forbes people. Come on now,
I know.
somebody like myself, and so it tells me that, that story tells you that anything is possible if you just
Mhm.
apply yourself, if you change your mindset, if you change your life.
Yeah.
Things that you were taught as a youngster, even in today's society, the culture that it is what it is,
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be you.
Right.
You can change that energy by
Mhm.
changing who you are. By
Right.
changing who you are, you become the leader of self, and that is when you control the outcome of your destiny.
Mhm.
There's a saying that the creator blew the breath of life into every man. By blowing the breath of life into every man, what he did was he put a part of himself in you.
Mhm.
And even in the Bible, it says, all ye are gods. But when they speak on ye, they're talking about, they address, well, when they speak on ye and they say God, they write it as the lowercase g. And
Mm.
what they're saying, what it is saying is that you are God over your life,
Mhm.
meaning you are the architect of your own destiny to shape and mold it to a positive outcome or a negative outcome. It doesn't mean that you're omnipotent and omnipotent and omnipresent. It means that you have the ability to shape um,
Mhm.
your life's desire, your
Mm.
life's success, your life's happiness, your
Mhm.
life's progress.
Yeah.
You can also shape your life's negativity, in your life's chaos, in your life's
That's true.
turmoil by the choices that you make.
Mhm.
And so that's what my song is about. It's about sharing my story with people, and letting them know from tragedy you can triumph.
Mm. I really like the cover. Uh,
Thank you.
I was like, wow, that's a very interesting concept, the Bible and the weapon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We
That
don't
is a
call Oh, sorry,
no.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we don't call it a gun in the military, we call it a weapon for in the army. You know
Both
that
for
that
weapons.
they
Both for
say
weapons.
this is my weapon,
Mhm.
this is my gun, this is for
Yeah, shooting. This is for fun. The funny thing about it is I'm glad that you recognized the cover, because I had the gun on top of the Bible for a reason. Because growing up, it was about the gun. When you change your life, it's about the Bible.
right.
And that's the transformation.
Mhm.
I exchanged one weapon for another. That's
Mm.
what it was.
Amen. Yeah. We having church. Look, we having church in the in Monsta Yo's house tonight. All right.
Just
So
call me, just call me Reverend Dr. Deacon Pastor Doug. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. That was a long name. I don't think I can
Yeah, you
remember
feel
all
me?
that.
There was a show called KJLH that they used to. There was a guy named Reverend Pastor Deacon Dr. Doug, and he used to tell the craziest funny ministries. And so that's where I got that from.
You know what's so funny? I remember, I don't know why, but like when I was in the army in the barracks, right? I would listen to Reverend Creflo
Creflo
Dollar.
Dollar. Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't know. Like he resonated with me, I guess, during that time period.
I believe it. I believe it. Oh
Oh
man.
my gosh. Bringing me flashbacks. Um, if you had to describe your creative process in 3 words, what would they be?
Hmm. My creative process in 3 words: dynamic, sophisticated, and dangerous.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Those are very, I would say, lethal words.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, I love to shock and awe, of course.
Mm,
I love to put intellectual things in there that make you think. And then I like to be edgy. I want you to know I was a boss at one time, and
mm,
now I'm a boss for positive change. And I want them to know that I can relate to them. I want the
mm,
streets to know that I can relate to them, because if they can relate, if they know that you can relate to them, they'll be more receptive to the knowledge that you give. And the
mm,
knowledge that I give today is positive change. The knowledge that I give today is maturity. It's
mhm,
wisdom. It's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That
mm,
zigzag zig. And
mm,
I want to make sure that I my goal is to just wake our kids up, because too many of our kids are dying. Too
mhm.
many of our kids are hurting, and they're depressed, and they're sick mentally. They're
Yeah.
traumatized by the things that have afflicted them when they were young.
Mhm.
Well, we need to show them that we can relate to them as well. We've been there, and
Yeah.
this is how you change. This is the map. This is the blueprint. And so, in order to do that, they have to know that you've been through their struggle. So that's what makes it dangerous, because I make
Mm.
sure I show them. I tell them.
That's so true, King. There's been, I guess the new thing going on is, and I'm still educating myself on certain substances.
Hmm.
So like lean and some other
Hmm.
the pills. Can you speak a little bit on that and if how to divert into more of a positive like you don't need to numb yourself with these things. You could work out, like I work out, you work out.
Hmm.
Can Is there any way that we can help to change the narrative, in that perspective of like instead of numbing through substance, get your, go to the gym or something of that sort. What are your thoughts on that?
So that's a great question. We live in a culture where drugs are popularized. And one of the sad things about this is that we as a culture are enabling each other to make it seem like it is okay. At some point, there has to be individuals who are influential that show that it's not okay, that stop that whole um, that stop just stop popularizing this, should I say, epidemic,
Yes.
of a culture of zombies.
Mm,
It's sad, because the people that are around me on a regular basis, I see them strung out on heroin and crystal meth and everything else. And I
mm,
sit back and I ask myself, why? You have so much potential.
yeah.
Why do you do this to yourself? And a lot of times it becomes the habit becomes their own mental illness.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they don't even realize that they even have a habit.
Mm,
How do we create solutions to this? Honestly, one, we need to just put them all on detox. That's one. But two, we have to figure out how to reach them. It's real simple.
Yeah.
Because if you don't reach them, you can put them on as many detox as you want. What's going to happen is they're going to go right back to the same behavior.
Mm,
But if we figure out a way to reach them mentally to the point that they actually get it, to the
mhm,
fact to the point to where they realize their own internal tenacious spirit to be able to
mm,
overcome these habits,
mhm.
then we will be able to heal them. But
Yeah.
until that time comes, we're screwed.
That's true. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people use it as a crutch, right? Like I hear, oh, it just eases, it just relaxes me, or it makes me get into my zone, you
Mm.
know. But I think, I mean, let's put it this way, as far as like mental health is concerned, as far as even the way genetically, how you're predisposed to certain things. And I'm
Right.
putting my public health hat on now, but you're predisposed to certain things because
Right.
either A, environmental, or
Mm-hmm.
B, it's innate in you,
Mm.
DNA wise.
Mm.
So, but my thing is this, it's partially it's repetition is the mother of skill, right? So they always say, for instance, smoking. This was back in the days, like, oh, grab a pen or a pencil and hold it, chew gum, these like different methodologies. I haven't looked at the PubMed for these or abstracts on this, but I'm sure that there's a lot of references out here, that case studies that have been done, scientifically evidence based case studies that could be implemented. I just think that it's a vast amount of people, right, in this popular, or I guess the societal norms making it popular with substance abuse, where there's a little bit of people that want to help, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like off kilter. So the population is greater for people, substance abusers, or maybe I shouldn't say substance abuse, and then a little small population of people actually wanting to pull them back to here, back over to this other side where, hey, you don't really need this. It's okay to, feel how you're feeling, right?
Mm.
Because when you don't get to the root of the problem, what I've learned is your emotions. If I'm sure you know this, but the first organ that was materialized when you're conceived, right, is the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Even biblically, it's mentioned. Protect your heart, right, because it's the wellspring of everything in life. And so, again, emotions is greater, and people don't understand that your emotions is greater because the heart was the first foundation of the DNA of your structure,
Mm.
physiologically. So I guess it, in other words, people aren't feeling the pain, feeling, they're going through the process of feeling. It's okay to cry it out. It's okay, not to be in this man box or this box or whatever that you're supposed to control your emotions, right?
Mm.
It's okay to let that out, because if you hold it in, it's going to fester, and then you're going to just be in that stagnant state, that emotion that should have been vetted. And
Facts.
it's so easy to just let it go, release the palm, right? And just give it
Mm.
to, for me, give it to God, give it to source, the
Right.
universe, to help you through your journey, through your healing journey. And so it's not just one day, it's an everyday process, you know. And
I agree.
I think people hide behind the scene or hide behind the mask, masking their emotions and not just letting it, not talking about it, and it just festers and festers. And so, where, for me personally, I think where you should start is getting in tune with yourself emotionally,
Mm. I
asking
agree.
your asking yourself, maybe sometimes you feel depressed or sad or angry or whatever, but there's a root to that.
Mm.
There's a cause and effect, and the root of it is where you need to focus on. you know. Okay.
Absolutely.
I know we're
Absolutely.
having church in
Teach.
here.
Teach. Teach. I hear you. Preach.
Back to you.
Okay.
Um, it's always been you.
Love it.
You've written several books, right?
Yes.
Could you give us a quick synopsis of the following books and how it has impacted you personally?
Okay.
Number one, Swords of Inspiration.
So that book, To All My Loved Ones, Swords of Inspiration, is something that I put together from a collection of writings that I send out to people every Monday. Every Monday, I send out a positive message to start off the week. And so I would say, to all my loved ones, and then I would close it off, signing my name. And I wanted to just inspire people throughout their whole week, not just throughout their day, but throughout their whole week, and just give them something to propel them, so that they would have the motivation, they would have the understanding, they would have the appreciation, to push, what I'm saying, for themselves and fight for themselves. And so I had written so many that I said, you know what, let me go ahead and put it in book form, and share it with the world. And so, sure enough, I did. And it came to life. And the next thing I know, it took off. So, to all my loved ones, Swords of Inspiration, it became its own hit.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, and thank you for the inspiration, the daily inspirations that you send.
Absolutely.
You're always consistent about it, and I'm greatly appreciative because there's days I'm telling you guys have to read his inspiring messages. There's days that it's up and down every day. That's just how it is. You have to remain. It's hard to it's hard to right? Vibrate in that positive light all the time
Hmm.
because we're human.
Facts.
So
Facts.
unless you were a robot, then.
Hmm. Facts.
But yeah, thank you so much for that. The next one is called Divine Comprehension.
Okay. So, when I wrote Divine Comprehension, I was really in the matrix. I was in a very confined place in my life. And I needed to find internal wisdom within myself to understand that confined place. And all of a sudden, it just was like one of those magic moments of just inspiring myself more
Mm,
so than anybody else. I wanted to find the strength to be revitalized,
mm,
replenished, with an energy, with the zest for living, for life. And that's what made me create Divine Comprehension. But by creating Divine Comprehension, there were other parts that made me want, as I was writing it, there were other topics that I wanted to address, like for women and how the women are the superhero, no, mothers, excuse me, and how mothers are the superheroes of the world. They're not just the hands that rock the cradle; they're the hands that protect us. They're the hands that nurture us and love us. And so I wanted to just highlight just different things that really inspired me, and that's where divine comprehension. That's what divine comprehension is all about.
okay, that's beautiful. I love that. I love how you tie it to also motherhood. That's
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah,
Your next book is entitled "You Are One of One." I'm sorry. Sorry. It's been a long day,
yeah.
y'all. You are one of one, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
So you are one on one is by myself and Tamika Twix Mix Allen, and what we did was we wanted to give just we wanted to just reunite the love of people, because
Mm,
we've lost that love of people. And so we
mm,
wanted to spark that energy, spark that talk. We wanted to inspire how to build better relationships, how to be better with each other, better
mm.
with the world, better with yourself. Because of course everything boils down to self-love. And we just wanted to just tackle that right there. So that's what we did. We tackled that self-love.
I know that's right. Self love.
Yes, Lord.
So, the, back to you. It's all
Amen.
about you. So the next book is Mental Martial Arts: The
Men-
Path to Inner Strength and Clarity.
Mental martial arts is another one of my favorite books that I've written. And what that is I took a lot of the techniques that I've learned from martial arts and applied it to everyday life. So in judo, um, your opponent, you use your opponent's momentum against himself as he comes at you, and that's how you wind up on top. Well, I wanted to teach people how to utilize the momentum of negative energy so that
Mm,
it doesn't affect you in a bad way. And so that's what I'm breaking down in mental martial arts.
mm,
But I also teach you emotional intelligence. I also teach you
mhm,
about relationships. I also teach you
mm.
about how to navigate your own self-limiting beliefs so
Mm,
that you can restore and build up self-belief,
mm.
self-freeing beliefs. And
Wow.
so because my whole thing is about the building block of understanding self. And through mental martial arts, you're definitely going to understand self. You're going to be
Mm,
powerful in the end. Trust that.
mm. Okay. I need that. I need that power.
Amen.
Yeah, that energy for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Joe Ham was shouting you out for that book,
Man, thank
by
you.
the way. And
Thank you.
I think he found, we just interviewed and he found solace, in reading that book.
Joe Ham is an extraordinary individual who's truly a giver. There's so many people within my life that I'm so proud and honored to have met. And one of them is Joe Ham. He comes from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Solely from the heart. He's not looking for anything in return. All he wants to do is help people.
Mhm.
And so
Yes.
I am so honored to be a brother of Joe Ham, along with the gifted, um, along with so many people within our team,
Yeah.
with yourself. You are an amazing person to so many people, even to myself.
Oh,
And I really appreciate you, and we all appreciate you.
thank you,
Um,
King.
Absolutely. We have an amazing team from Black Grass Podcast to Nala in
Mm.
the Den with Nala to Vega to just so many people, man. But I
Yeah.
will say this is my favorite podcast.
Aw, thank you. You're making me blush. I don't know. They might not like this. Wink. Thank you. So, thank you so much. I really appreciate you,
Absolutely.
King.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Joe Ham again. And by the way, he's created a beautiful designs for myself and artists out there as well. So tap in with him.
Oh yeah,
The,
he does
the
great logos and everything. Go
yes.
purchase his logos. Him and the Gifted together, they're a
Oh
cold tag
yes.
team. Go purchase their logos. They do
Yes.
videography. They do everything. I'm talking about if you want to be rebranded, these are the individuals to go to, and your life will change because you will come off more professional. You don't
Hmm.
want to just post anything. You
Right.
want to be as professional as possible, and they change your image.
Yes, most definitely. We'll definitely have to get their information and put it on this feed for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, the next book is The Magic of Celebrating. Oh, autism. You did talk about it, but
Yeah.
if you want to talk a little bit more about it, but this was one of the books, Autism Through Articulate Expression.
And that book right there, myself and Renee Pennix Alexander, which is my family member, we came together and we put together this amazing piece because we just wanted to give back to those who suffer from autism. But
Mhm.
more than that, we wanted to also touch the world. We wanted them to understand that it's okay to be different and do not judge and criticize and discriminate against those who are different. It's
Yeah,
okay, and they are heroes as well. They may
yeah,
not fit in the way that you would or are accustomed to, but at the end of the day, they're also heroes. So it was about reminding people that just because you're different doesn't mean you're not a hero. It doesn't mean you're not extraordinary. And so we just want to share that with the world.
Mm. Thank you so much for creating that book because
Absolutely.
and your family member because my son, he's autistic, so it's been a long journey with him, and people need to be aware, that their their mind functions in he's like in the high end of the spectrum, so his mind is like fast forward,
Mhm.
and it's phenomenal. Like he's created what is it called, still animation,
Mhm.
and he writes books. He does a whole bunch of different things, put stuff together. He's growing him two mango trees. He
Wow.
has a green thumb. It's crazy. I just bought him a heating lamp. So, but yeah, uh, phenomenal son. I'm not just saying that because he's my son, but it's like I said, it's been growing pains
Mhm.
through from when I found out when he was 3 years old that he had autism and ADHD, and having to get him to these therapies and also speech delay. So
Mhm.
um, I'm saying this because I really appreciate you for writing this book, so that way
Absolutely.
people can have a better understanding of what mothers, fathers, parents, families go through with their child. So
Absolutely.
thank you
Absolutely.
so
I
much.
also want to say that I'm also the ambassador of Leo Lion Club Foundation, which also targets autism and helps those who suffer from autism. Leo Lion Club founder is Renee Pennix Alexander. So if you guys ever want any type of information or work centers or workshops that she does for those who are affected by autism because they're not suffering, they're just affected by it. Please contact Renee Pennix Alexander or at Leo Lion Club Foundation.
Thank you so much for that, King.
Absolutely.
Um, the next book is called Foundational Steps of Divine.
Yes. Um, that book right there was created by myself and Colin Randolph.
Hmm.
Colin Randolph is a childhood friend, a brother
Hmm.
who what can I say about Colin Randolph? He is truly an extraordinary mind that you should meet one day. Just to hear him speak, you will understand why. He is gifted with a sort of leadership and um, a way of articulating himself that really hits home,
Hmm.
and to see us both grow the way that we grew from boys to men. That's my brother through and through. And so him and I um, in our path of
Hmm.
change, we said, you know what, it's time to come together and create something. And so what we created was this piece, and it's a spiritual piece. He used to send me positive spiritual messages, and I used to
Wow.
respond to those messages, giving the meaning to the messages that he would send me. And he was like, "Wait a minute, man, I like this." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." He said, "We can put this in a book." I said, "You know what? That's what we're gonna do." And sure enough, that's what we did. And we brought it to life. And, you know, God be the glory, man. We made it happen.
Wow. Congratulations. Yeah. And your family member too. So that's wonderful. I love it. And the next one is called Made in Secrecy. Don't
Yes.
believe the hype.
So, Made in Secrecy, um, that book right there, that was created by myself and my mother.
Mhm.
Um, and we came together and we collaborated, and she brought this fantastic idea about this maid who worked in this particular area, and she worked amongst the opulent, the rich, and this she was doing her she was learning so much about their lifestyle and the secrets and everything
Oh.
else. And she ended up having a boyfriend that decides to want to rob one of the rich couples, and they planned this great heist. And so, my mother and I, we collaborated and just made something amazing come to being. And next thing you know, you have this Made in Secrecy. I'm telling you, you will like it.
Mm. I do have a few books of yours, King. So
Oh, really? Okay, okay, okay. Dilly
I'm building
dilly,
my I'm building my collection. Yes.
dilly dilly.
The next one, I believe this is the one I have. It's Love Torch.
Love Towards Seductive. That was also written by myself and my mom. And my mother came up with this idea, which is so funny, right? She says, "Yeah, so we need a female serial killer that has an alter ego." I said, "A female serial killer with an alter ego," and I said, "Okay, well, it's nice to have a female serial killer with an alter ego, but how do we make this more fantastic?"
Right.
And I had to think, what would make it stand out? Well, we came to the conclusion that she would be a female serial killer with an alter ego, and the alter ego is a dude, and the dude is in love with her. So anytime she gives her heart to someone, anytime someone hurts her or breaks her heart, her alter ego comes out and sets them on fire. And so this becomes real deep in just so many ways, right? And the storyline, it plays out beautifully. The love stories and the connections, and it's a quick read, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you this: you guys will love it through and through.
What a twist. What a
Hmm.
twist.
Absolutely.
So, and the last one is Inner Freedom, Cultivating Positive Behavior in Captivity.
Well, inner freedom is about teaching individuals that are in prison how to have a program.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of individuals, they come to prison and they don't know how to program, so they find themselves in trouble after trouble after trouble after trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I wanted to do is give young men and young women um, a roadmap, a blueprint to how to have an effective program that leads to progress, that leads to productivity. By having that productivity, what happens is you're more likely to,
Mm-hmm.
to find yourself on the other side of the prison wall than remain on the inside. Because the more positive behavior you do, guess what? The more likely when you go in front of that board, they're going to release you. And so I just wanted to prepare them ahead of time so that
Mm-hmm.
they have this knowledge, this vast knowledge of how to
Mm-hmm.
engage, how to think for themselves, how to not be influenced by the negative behaviors that's around them, how to maintain a positive program, how
Mm-hmm.
to stay in school, do activities that keep them focused. So
Mm.
that's what that's about.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So, when you say program, you mean like them literally creating their own curriculum or their
Them
own
them
structure?
create them creating their own structure in the sense of, so a program would be, okay, I'm in school today. Later on this evening, I'm going to go to a group
Mm-hmm.
that prepares me for, that teaches me life skills.
Okay.
Um, when I come back in, I'm going to read a book. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to
Okay.
write a positive letter. You want
Yeah.
to have a positive program.
I
By
got
doing that, you're being positive. You're being proactive in your positive behavior.
you.
And
Mm-hmm.
you want to be able to show this. The more you show this, the more
Mm.
likely they're going to come home sooner than later.
Mm. I have something we should talk offline about in
Okay.
regards to this.
Okay.
So something that I think that would be very beneficial
Okay.
in that program. Okay, cool. So how do you unwind or recharge when you're not creating?
Ah, so my unwind is honestly reading a book, meditating, exercising,
Mhm.
um, just having that personal time. You know, um,
Okay.
I don't. That's it. I love my personal time.
Me too. I definitely understand.
Yes.
And I heard you like Doritos as well. So
Hey, that's my wife. Everyone knows that Doritos is my wife. It's not that I love my baby mama. I never let her go. I'm just letting you know I love my Doritos.
so for
In
all
fact, I love her so much. I made a shoe line called Monster Ritos.
what
Monster Ritos. So I have a shoe line out right now with the Doritos logo that says Monster Doritos. That's how much I love my baby mama.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Well, Doritos better sponsor you.
I
Hello.
hope so. No, no, I hope so. I look forward to it.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
I look forward to it.
Speaking about that, I believe we talked, if I maybe I skipped it, but I know that you have the new shoe line
hmm
and you have some new merch. Can you
hmm
talk to us about it and how can we purchase it?
Okay, so my links are in my bio. Um, you can purchase it online. I have both merch. My merch consists of everything from clothes, from t shirts to
Right.
tank tops to yoga pants, to hats, to sweaters, to skateboards, to yoga mats, to chessboards, whatever game boards. I have it all. Mugs, everything. I also have my own shoe line. I have the Monster Ritos, which is my I'm serious. This is heart
Yeah,
attack,
no,
which
yeah.
is my new line of shoes,
Right.
which are dope. I have the Monstra, which is my woman's line of shoes that just dropped yesterday,
Oh
and I
wow.
also have my Monster Yo limited edition shoe line, which has like a military Raiders theme. You know what I'm saying? And so you guys will love it. You know what I'm saying? Beyond that, gosh, that's pretty much my merch so far. But I have everything. If you're looking for, go to my bio and tap the link in my bio. You'll see the link and go from there.
Yeah, I have a hat, a cap, so
Hello,
yeah,
hello.
I love it. It's color black. It's color black, and it has his logo on the top, guys. It's
Yeah,
really, it's cute.
it's
So
dope.
I definitely need to tap in and get more merch.
Okay.
And if people want to buy you some Doritos, King, how can we help you? Stockpile your Doritos.
Hey, so what we can do is we can put either we can either put my PayPal in this link, or we can.
Okay.
I think we should put up my PayPal in this link, and you guys just send them all, por
Yeah.
favor.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
And his top three. What can you list? Like I think you have like two or three of top Doritos that you typically
uh,
consume.
so my top one, Tapatio. My other one is white cheddar, and my other one would be it's a variety. So it's like it's kind of tied between ranch, sweet and spicy, um, yeah, of course, and the regular.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I
OG.
love the
OG.
listen.
Yeah.
OG, I love my girl, man. She is amazing. She never lets me down. Mm-mm.
Oh, I bet. I better like not speak about
Yes.
Doritos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, so do you dip her like
I I
like
I I,
guacamole or
I do what
queso,
I do whatever the moment calls for.
jalapenos?
Listen, whatever the moment calls for, she's going down.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny. So do you have like a special beverage like soda or something that go well with it? Like usually when you
I don't need a beverage. It's all her, me and her. My special thing is slow jams. I put on slow jams and we go crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah. hmm
Oh boy.
Put on that orange dress and that high heel and some of that sweet cheese.
You know,
So look good on you.
for real. You know what? Next time we talk, I want to know if you made a song about Doritos. I mean,
Okay,
you ought to
definitely.
give her like a
I
serenade.
definitely serenade, don't I? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We
Yeah,
definitely will see.
yeah. Dude, Doritos gonna come and sponsor you after you put out that song.
Shout
So,
out to Doritos, man.
right.
Love y'all more than you know. I love y'all. If I ever visit Doritos, they gonna ban me for eating too much.
Oh
Oh,
God,
I'm
this
gonna have her
is
all in
too
my
funny.
pocket, underneath my shirt. And I'm like, hey, we know you're not that big. Yes, I am.
Yeah, we can't.
Every
We
time you walk, you crinkle, crinkle. It don't matter.
can't be taking it to the sample aisle. You know how many I would go to Sam's Club. They're like, "Oh, would you like a sample? Would you like a sample?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, would you like another sample? Sure." And then
Hmm.
you like take.
Hmm.
"Oh, let me just go ahead and take the whole tray. Matter of fact.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Don't give me no samples. Don't give me a sample. Let me walk right on by because that tray is gone. Doritos
Yep,
gone.
yep. With a new salsa,
You feel me?
right, sir? Yeah, you
That's
have to
funny.
leave some for the rest of the patrons
That's
here. Thank
funny.
you.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
So, where do you find inspiration?
I find inspiration just everywhere. Life is inspiration. Living is inspiration. People are inspiration. I love to engage with people because what happens is that I live vicariously through them. And so when I see their life and when I see their behaviors and I see how they negotiate their lives,
Uh-huh.
it allows me to see where I can be, where I want to be. It
Mm,
allows me, even those who are driven, they that gives me a whole new incentive to be
mhm,
even more driven.
mhm.
So I find my inspiration amongst everywhere I'm at, with
Wow.
people all
Yeah.
around, all abroad, and
Wow.
present.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing, King. Yeah, that's so true. So, what's the best advice ever given to you?
The best advice ever given to me is don't sweat the small stuff.
Mm,
That's it. Don't sweat the small stuff. The minute I stopped sweating the small stuff, my life became so much easier
mm.
because I used to nitpick on everything
You?
because I'm so critical in my mind. I'm serious. I'm
Wow.
so critical in my mind and I see people's flaws. And then I started asking myself, well, what about your flaws? What are
Mm,
you doing that you don't know that other people see that they haven't pointed out? And it started to make me understand, wait a minute, who am I to judge? Who am I to nitpick? That's not my position. My
mm.
position is to live my best life, my best happy life. And in order
Wow.
to be that, in order to do that, I have to no longer sweat the small stuff. And so I just don't sweat the small stuff.
So, I'm taking it that somebody told you don't sweat the small stuff, or you just,
Absolutely. They
oh,
not
wow.
only told it to me because I was sweating the small stuff so much, they sent me a book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff and told me to read it twice.
Third time, just three times,
Mhm.
just
You
in
feel me?
case.
Always that three. You gotta have that three. That's the charm. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Don't
Wow.
sweat the small stuff.
Oh my goodness, King. So, what's next for Monsta Yo, and what message would you like to give your fans and up and coming artists?
Well, what's next for Monster Yo is we're working on this magazine coming out, and that will be coming out this week. Um, we have a few songs that are about to hit that's going to shock the world, and I'm talking about with a name that nobody's going to believe, and
Wow.
so it's going to be an awesome feature with myself and LA Bandit. And,
Mm,
also what's next is creating my dream team. My goal is to create this dream team to where we're all working cohesively as one unit and making sure we all reach success together. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? I feel like this, if one person makes it to the top, we all do. And that's
mhm,
all that matters. You know what I'm saying? And so, and beyond that, just more endeavors, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of, we have another issue that probably will be dropping around. We're considering March, but we're not sure yet. You know, and that one is going to feature on the cover Rick Ross. And so we're
mm,
looking forward to that as well. Speaking of Rick Ross, he's also going to be in this issue as well, which I'm
mm,
so proud of, man. Rick Ross, shout out to the original Rick Ross, Freeway Rick, and just just giving us this opportunity, to
mm,
interview him and get a chance to know who he is. And we all know his story, but he's an amazing individual, so I
mm.
appreciate that. Um, as far as the advice I want to give to artists, don't give up on yourself. Stop
Mm,
being so hard on yourself. And because you're not making the money that you want, don't think that it's the end of the world. Change your
right,
strategy.
right.
To all artists, I don't care how hard you are. If you're not bringing in a crowd, you're not effective. You're not a person that is that joint,
Mm-hmm.
as we all say. A joint is an individual that brings a crowd. When
Mm,
you bring a crowd, you have every right to ask to be paid
mm,
because now you're making that venue money. You're
yeah.
making that promoter money. And if you're making that promoter money, you deserve to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So always remember, in order to, in the best way to beat the system, bring a crowd everywhere you go and
Mm,
make sure they pay. Bring a crowd. And when you bring that crowd, then every time you go to a venue, you say, hey, I bring about these many people. If you don't believe me, go ask this last venue and this last venue. That's my
mm,
portfolio right there. You
mm-hmm.
want to make money? Well, you know you're going to make money with me. So this is what I want. Man, you negotiate the rules. That's how
Mm,
you become boss over your own life. Know
right.
how to bring a crowd. That's what it's all about.
I love it. Is there any like secret sauce? Maybe I don't know if you want to give like a little tidbit on how to go about bringing a crowd, or this is it just a natural thing that individuals have, like a
If they
talent?
want to learn how to bring a crowd, they need to tap in with me in my DM, and I'll give you a course. My courses are $59.99.
Right.
If you want to
Okay.
learn the secret, you got to make sure you pay. I'm
That's
gonna tell you
right.
this: if you really want to know the secret, join my membership. Skrilla Gorilla West, we have membership,
Mm,
and artists. They pay 100 a month. Businesses they pay 350 a month, if I'm correct. It's either 100 or 150 a month. I think it's 100 a month. And businesses pay either 250 or 350 a month. And or yeah, business pay 2 or 350 a month. And we give you the game. Not only do we give you the game, we provide for you resources that really catapult your career. We have everything you need, from
mm,
chart placement to blogs to getting you into red carpet events.
mm.
Everything you need, billboards, getting you on the billboards. We have everything.
Wow.
Anything that you're looking for, come to Skrilla Gorilla West. Skrilla Gorilla West, we are the one stop for everything,
Mm, look at
and
that.
we're not playing. Our whole thing is artist building, business building.
Mm,
Excuse me, artist development, business development. We want
mm,
to make sure that you are successful in
right.
every way. And the way that we ensure that is by giving you a concise strategy that puts you in a position to win.
Mm,
So come win with us. I
yes.
guarantee we are the West Coast. We are the resources for the West Coast. You guys need to come to us because I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Let's get
Mm,
it.
okay. All right. Thank you. Well, with that being said, be sure to subscribe to Monsta Yo and NNO 360. Don't forget to like and comment to view all the episodes on NNO 360. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I just created our TikTok account. Uh, and let's continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Monsta Yo, our king here, free Monsta Yo, and others that need our support, free Quan. This has been a broadcast of showing love full circle between NNO 360 and Monsta Yo. Salute.
Salute.